Hey, welcome. If you're dreaming of finding a home in a German-speaking country, you have landed in exactly the right place. We're about to unlock all the essential vocabulary that's going to take the stress right out of your apartment hunt. So let's dive in. So, are you planning a move? Could be for a new job, for school, or maybe just for a big adventure. Whatever the reason, finding a place to live is probably your first and biggest hurdle. And let's be honest, it can feel pretty daunting. But don't you worry, that's exactly why we're here. Think of this as your personal vocabulary quest. We're going to arm you with all the words you need to navigate the world of German real estate like you've been doing it for years. Okay, so every good quest needs a starting point, right? And ours begins with just one single verb. It's the foundation for literally everything else you're about to learn. And that verb is wohnen. You say it like V-O-N-N. It just means to live or to reside. This word is the heart of our topic today. You're going to see this root pop up over and over again. Seriously, this one is crucial, so lock it in your memory right now. All right, so you've got to live down. The next obvious question is, where exactly are you going to live? Let's check out the different kinds of homes you're going to see on your search. First up, we have die Wohnung. That's D-V-O-N-O-N-G. This means the apartment. And trust me, if you're looking in pretty much any major city, this is going to be what you're searching for. It is by far the most common type of rental. Of course, maybe you're looking for something a bit bigger. In that case, you'd be looking for das Haus, which is, you guessed it, the house. Think of a standalone building, probably with a little yard, much more common out in the suburbs or in more rural areas. Okay, let's fire off a few more specifics. You might see a listing for a Miethaus, which is an entire apartment building for rent, or maybe a Hochhaus, which is a high-rise. Now, this next one, pay close attention because it's a big one, die Wohngemeinschaft. But honestly, you'll almost always hear it called a WG. It's a shared apartment, and it's an incredibly popular way to live, especially for students and young professionals. And finally, if you're looking to buy, you're looking for an Eigentumswohnung, basically a condo that you own. Okay, so you know what kind of place you're looking for, but who are the people you're actually going to be dealing with during your search and, while you're living there? Let's meet the main characters. First, and this is the most important person in this whole story, there's you, der Mieter or die Mieterin, the tenant. The person on the other side of the deal is der Vermieter, the landlord. Then, of course, you'll have your Nachbarn, or neighbors, and in many buildings, there's a really key person to know, der Hausmeister. Think of them as the caretaker or the building superintendent. They're your go-to for repairs and general building stuff. And now we get to the really important stuff, the money and the paperwork. Look, understanding your rental contract is non-negotiable, so let's break down the key terms you're definitely going to see. Okay, before we even touch the contract, we have to clear up two verbs that trip everyone up. As the tenant, you mieten an apartment. You are renting it. The landlord, on the other hand, will vermieten it to you. They are renting it out. Just remember, you mieten, the landlord vermieten. It's a tiny little prefix, but it makes a world of difference. And all of this leads to the big one, der Mietvertrag. This is the rental contract. It's the legally binding document between you and the landlord. You've got to read this thing carefully. So, when you open up that Mietvertrag, what are the big money terms you need to look for? Let's talk about the big three costs you need to know no matter what. First, of course, is die Miete, the rent. But, and this is a big but, you'll almost always see it broken down. You have to know the difference between Kaltmiete, or cold rent, which is just the base price for the space, and Warmmiete, or warm rent, which includes other costs. So what makes the rent warm instead of cold? Well, that would be die Nebenkosten. These are all the additional costs, things like your heating, water, trash pickup, and other services for the building. That's what gets added to the cold rent to make it warm rent. And finally, before you even get the keys, you're going to have to pay die Kaution. This is your security deposit. You can usually expect it to be anywhere from 1 to 3 months of your basic rent, and you get it back when you move out as long as everything's in good shape. Okay, so let's just quickly recap the big three money terms. You've got die Miete, which is the rent itself. Then you have die Nebenkosten for all the utilities and extras. And finally, die Kaution, the security deposit you pay up front. Getting these three down is absolutely key to understanding any rental ad or contract. All right, you found a place, you get the contract, you've paid up, awesome. Now for the last part of our quest, the vocabulary for the actual move itself. So before you can move in, you usually have to move out of your old place, right? The verb for that is kündigen, which means to give notice or to terminate your current contract. This isn't just a casual thing, it's a formal process, so you really need to know what your notice period is. Now, the move itself breaks down into 3 essential verbs. Think of it like a story. First, you ausziehen. That's when you move out of your old place. The whole shebang, the entire process of relocating from one place to another, is called umziehen. And the grand finale, you einziehen. You finally move into your brand new home. So it's out, relocate, in. And if you want to talk about the move as a noun, like the whole event itself, the word you're looking for is der Umzug. As you can probably guess, it comes directly from that verb umziehen. So you could totally say, my Umzug ist am Samstag. And just like that, you've done it. Our quest is complete. From learning how to say to live with wohnen all the way to the final Umzug, you've journeyed through the absolute core vocabulary for finding a home in a German-speaking country. You're ready. So I guess the only question left is the big one. Are you ready for your Umzug? With this vocabulary in your back pocket, I'd say you definitely are. Best of luck with your search, and thanks for joining me.